Hi, I'm Melissa Shortino. Welcome to the Boss Lady M's video series on leadership and influence. I'm doing this series as a part of my thesis for my master's degree at Northeastern University, which is located in Boston. And today's topic is going to be leadership versus management. I wrote a short paper on this, which I'll be referencing during the video, but I find this to be a very interesting topic because leadership and management are two different things. There are managers that can be leaders, and there are some management that overlaps into leadership. But I think it's really interesting when you look at the difference. There are skill sets that overlap, but there are distinct differences that set them apart. Leaders have existed since time began. And I think some of the greatest leaders emerge. And I think that's a really interesting topic to discuss. Assigned versus emergent leadership. Just because someone is assigned a leadership role does not necessarily mean that they have leadership skills or are going to demonstrate the ability to be a leader. And that's important to think about. Just because someone is given a title doesn't necessarily mean they are a leader. And yet there can be people within an organization that do not have leadership roles or a role who emerge as leaders because of their skill sets and their personality. And there's other reasons too. But those that emerge can really rise to the top. And I also think that when someone is assigned a leadership role, especially in situations where they haven't proven their leadership, it makes it even harder for them to show and demonstrate their leadership skills because often their followers don't view them as leaders because they don't feel that they went through the necessary growth and demonstrated that they worked to get to that place. So here's some of the differences that noted regarding management and leaders. Managers lead organizations. Leaders are more broad in scope and can lead, for example, a population or a business environment. Something else that I found to be interesting in regards to leadership theory, which touches on this kind of management versus leadership. Kouzes and Posner, they developed the 5 practices of exemplary leadership. And I think this fits into what we're talking about. So their 5 practices are to model the way, which includes finding your voice and setting an example. Inspiring a shared vision is the second. And vision is big for leaders. They see the vision, they want to share their vision, and they need to have buy-in of their vision to be a successful leader. So by envisioning the future and enlisting others, it's a critical skill for leaders. The third one is challenging the process, searching for opportunities. That's something that leaders have to be able to do, and they have to be willing to experiment and take risks. The fourth practice is enabling others to act. That is a key element for leaders, for strong and successful leaders. They have to be able to foster collaboration and strengthen others and not be fearful of the goal is to build more leaders and not be fearful of building more leaders. And then the fifth one is to encourage the heart. I think this is sometimes overlooked when we think about leadership. Recognizing contributions, celebrating the values and the victories, because followers need to be encouraged and pushed up and built up and then shown gratitude for their success and their accomplishments. So Kouzes and Posner also have the 10 commitments of leadership. I'm going to end this video on this thought. So the 10 commandments of leadership, find your voice, set the example, envision the future, enlist others, search for opportunities, experiment and take risks, foster collaboration, strengthen others, recognize contributions, and celebrate the values and victories. You can see that each of those applies. The first two apply to the first practice, and the second to the second practice, and so on and so forth. So I hope I've given you some more food for thought regarding leadership, and I'd love to hear your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next video.